All right, so welcome everybody to what webinar is this? Number five, number six for us now. So we're going to be going over the event and tour page, one of our newest releases on Symphony. As you guys have been probably following for the past month, we've been dropping a ton of new updates. We still got a ton more updates to come, but this is for everyone planning on throwing an event, throwing a tour, and how to integrate it with Symphony. Obviously, you got Bo here as usual, and then we also got Drew going to go through this with everyone. So without further ado, let's get started. So on the agenda today, we're going to be going over the event page. We're going to be talking about its uses for tours and events because it can do both. Some examples, some customization aspects of it that you definitely want to take into mind while you set it up. The analytics that you get from the event and tour pages, and then how to use it with increased link clicks. So full agenda. We'll start off with the event page overview. So what is it and what it does? So the event page was designed for artists and creators, and event promoters like your guys, to build, customize, and promote your tours and events. There's basically a page where, as you can see in the photo, you can put in custom dates for whether you're doing a tour or one-off date for an event, and people can go and buy tickets or RSVP. And it's basically a personalized and interactive website that can showcase different tour dates, sell tickets, collect fan data, and integrate marketing analytics. So yeah, not only can people go and actually click on tickets for your event and promotion, you can set up a pre-sale period, you can collect emails and numbers to continue to grow that data funnel that is super important as a artist nowadays. Now, for events, you can use it for a one-off event and, collect pre-sale information as the event gets closer to the date. So as you can see in the photo, you'll see I set up this event for Webster Hall for October 11th, and it's a pre-sale. If you were to click that pre-sale button, you'd have to enter in your name, and you would be, and it honestly kind of works as a almost like a pre-save on Symphony, where once that pre-sale period comes to an end, it switches over to the actual live event. And then for tours, you can create a whole custom tour page and upload any CSV format using our advanced AI. I'll go into that in a second on a different page that will simplify collections and give you all the necessary data. And the reason why you set this up is that it's all about collecting data nowadays. And with our Symphony event site, it's harder to collect that data off of a ticket page that someone sets up for you rather than the one that you set up yourself. So just keep that in mind as we go through it. And yeah, so now I'm going to dive big into the customization aspect of it because this is the most important part. So, I know a bunch of you guys have used Symphony already. And if you haven't, you'll learn that this is how we kind of do it on websites across all of our websites. But for these pages and for all of them, I really suggest like doing a thorough dive into making your site look as nice as possible. So you have your basic themes, basic, simple, full image, full video. I usually like to suggest full image as it just looks the cleanest, or full video. The only thing you need to know about full video is that it's a 50 megabyte limit. So just keep that in mind if you are going to use a video. But honestly, if you're doing an event and you have the full video of maybe an event you did previously, it looks good when people click on it because they'll see, okay, this is what I'm going to expect when I go to this event. For date styles, usually I like stacked, honestly. Stacked just gives it kind of a cleaner look. You could go boxes either way. But we also have fonts. We have 12 different fonts. We have an unlimited amount of colors, title alignment. I usually like centered. Fonts go with whatever fits your artist aesthetic. Again, just have fun playing around with it. Some of these customizations are locked behind Pro, so keep that in mind. But again, just make the site look as clean as possible. The bottom two are super important. So you'll see for set up your events, the bottom left one, add one or more tour dates to showcase, and you'll see there's an add a date button and an upload a CSV button. So for the added date, that's the one you're going to use for the events. It'll allow you to enter in a custom date. You'll be able to put in the website link for where you can get the tickets, where the place is going to be, uh, dates and all that good stuff. But also within the added date section, if you turn your attention to the bottom right picture, this is actually where you can set up your pre-sale event. So we need to do a better job of highlighting it, but basically, it's definitely important to add a pre-sale period. That way, again, I think one of the biggest things that people are doing this year in music are uh doing data collection and stuff like that. So definitely just make sure you add a pre-sale period uh before you get started on your tour event page. And then if we turn our attention back to the bottom left one again for upload a CSV. Um, and so what the upload of CSV is AI powered. If you guys have ever done any tour stuff before, a lot of different promoters do a lot of different CSVs in terms of how they set it up. And usually when you make event pages, you have to do a lot of mixing and matching with how you format it. With ours, it doesn't matter really how you format it. You could have your ticket links in a different column rather than the other one. It doesn't matter. It will automatically adjust it so that it shows up on the campaign. And so what it does is, you'll have maybe like 4 or 5 different dates, the places where you can purchase the tickets, the events, where it's going to be at, and all that information lives in the CSV. Once you upload it, it'll take the dates from the CSV and make individual date links within your page. And if I go back 1 or 2 slides, you could actually see that right here, where you can see I uploaded CSV. They're grayed out right now because you can actually you could also mark it as sold out. So if they sell out, it'll just say marked as sold out. But once the date's passed, it grays them out. So that's why you'll see all these are grayed out. I actually used a non-formatted CSV here, and it automatically uploaded it. So this is what it will look like after you upload a CSV with that information. And lastly, you know, there is an option to also open a custom link as well, depending on how you guys are doing your data collection, or maybe you want someone to be able to just subscribe to your artist's website. You could also do that. So I just wanted to mention it before we actually move on to Drew's part. So Drew, let me know if I missed anything, but I think that's it for customization. And then again, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to throw it in the Q&A for us to answer later after.
Yeah, no, thank you, Bo. I would say I would just add some emphasis to the automatic CSV upload. I can't tell you how many times that's been like a blocker where it just takes a lot of manual effort to go and copy paste format things the way it should be to actually get it to the tour link. So just being able to upload that, not even have to worry about any of that, and it just automatically creates links for you is the really big part. But now coming into the analytics part, you've made your page, you've customized it, you've created your tour page. Now you're actually able to click into your page and see a bunch of metrics on how that specific website is doing. So as you can see in the image, you'll see page visits, event link clicks, click-through rate, emails collected. And then these are stats for your website as a whole. We're going to get into how you can use your website for increased link clicks, but this right here, this dashboard that you're seeing is all traffic to the website, even if it didn't come from your increased link clicks campaign. So this is a really good way, especially if you have multiple different events where if you're newer and you are trying to gauge where your success is going to be in different markets, you can use this data from individual pages to get an idea of who's coming, how many people are coming, how interacted are they, how many emails am I getting from each location. Then within here, you're also able to see, let's say you have 5 different dates in your tour. This will tell you which dates were clicked the most within here, as well as the overall statistics. If you have 5 dates in there, how many total clicks were on this page. So this is just a very good way to kind of just see all the very important data in one place, and having your event pages and tour pages built with Symphony allows it so on the back end y'all don't even have to worry about this, but when Symphony is making these websites, every single button and every single thing that the user can interact with is all tracked. Usually you would have to set up Facebook tracking yourself manually on each website so that you can see specific stats. Like in this case, you see event link clicks. That's a custom conversion that is made on Symphony websites. So that's just another thing, like me coming from years of Facebook experience, ads experience, knowing how much time it takes to create a website, install it on a website. Now, once it's installed on the website, you have to go in and track each individual conversion that you want and then relay it back to Facebook. All of that is automatically done with the Symphony page, and you can see the analytics here. We can move to the increase link clicks part. This is like not all the other value that we've already mentioned in terms of having all your data in one place, having all of like what I just said with the pixel, everything's automatically tracked. You don't have to worry about it. You just have to have a pixel. All of that leads into being able to use that link for an ads campaign. And this is where having that Symphony made page with all of the events already set up is so big, because you can use it on increased link clicks. And with increased link clicks, and if you have Symphony conversions on, you're able to select which conversion event you want. So if you actually can go back, Bo, real quick to the last slide, you'll see here event link clicks in the image is a conversion event. So if we go into an increased link clicks in the next slide, you can use your link that you made for a tour or an event, have the event link click as the conversion event for your increased link clicks campaign. So now when you're setting this up, just like any other campaign, you would have your normal targeting, it's the same content. The only thing that changes is the actual link that you're sending to. You have everything tracked, so you can see not only how many people clicked on your ad, but how many people clicked on an event link within your tour page. And if you actually go to the next slide, you will see an example of what you'll see with this exact same setup that I just explained. This is an increased link clicks campaign. The link being used is a tour. It's a tour page, and this one specifically is only for Brooklyn. We only wanted to target Brooklyn, and with the way this is set up, the conversion event is tour link click. So you'll see cost per click and cost per conversion there. So this is as basically the highest level conversion data that you can get when it comes to this sort of ads campaign, and having it very transparent without having to actually do any of the back end work to set it up is I'm biased because I have so much time spent with Facebook ads, but I can't explain how important it is and how much time saved just from being able to have it set up for you. The other thing that I'll mention is when you're looking at the cost per click and the cost per conversion, always a big question is, what is a good cost? What is a good cost? When it comes to increased link clicks, what is a good cost? The answer to that is very, very subjective. It's probably the most, it could be the biggest difference in costs between any of our campaign types. Because when it comes to increased link clicks, are you running that campaign to an event that costs $10 for a ticket? Is it costing $100 per ticket? Is it free entry for an event? You have to consider how much the ticket is, or how much when it comes to this case, it's usually going to be a ticket, but you have to think about how much you're getting back from whatever sale that you're making on the back end. So in this case, 70 cents cost per click, 88 cents cost per conversion is very, very good, because ticket sales were around $50. But even if cost per conversion was $8, that's not bad at all, because you have to think it's a $50 cost per ticket. Even if it takes 5-6 people that click on a tour link to actually buy a ticket, you're still profitable. So that's a very big thing that I want to stress, is that the cost associated with the increased link campaigns is very subjective, and is something that going to someone who is an expert on all this stuff they're not going to be able to give you an answer. There's going to be something that you're going to have to look inward, see what are you offering, how much am I getting back, is this worth it for me to continue running? Um, but again, that when it comes to tour link or tour pages, event pages, increased link clicks does very, very well. This screenshot right here is just showing the Brooklyn show, but this was actually two beta campaigns that we ran before we actually fully released tour campaigns, and both of these shows sold out. And so not only are you seeing the effects from ticket sales like before the show, like from the actual campaign directly, but this very heavily influences the amount of walk-up sales that you're going to get. There's a lot of people that are going to see this campaign that clicked on tour link click, but they didn't actually purchase, because the reality is in a lot of markets, especially in the bigger cities like New York, LA, most people don't make plans to go to shows like this. They make plans to go to the big headline shows that they have to buy tickets that sell out months in advance. But when it comes to something that's going on a Friday, Saturday night in a lot of these major areas, they don't have plans until the night comes, and then they figure it out when it happens. So that's something to also keep in mind is your walk-ups will usually increase as well, just because of the awareness of this type of campaign. But that's basically all I really had in terms of the increased link clicks. I would say the only other thing is when it comes to the targeting, tour link clicks and event link clicks are the only two campaigns where when I'm doing location targeting, I usually only target countries, because you don't want to restrict your potential fans. But when it comes to events, you have events in very specific locations. This is the only time where instead of targeting a country, I'll target a city. And then you'll see here, it says 25-mile radius around the city. You don't have to worry about that. That is how Symphony automatically sets it up. So if you target Boston, it's going to target Boston and 25 miles around Boston. So that's just a very good way. If you have multiple different cities on your tour, you can just add all of those cities into the mix and then send them to the tour page, and they can choose which city they're from. But other than that, I think we can leave it open to questions. I don't know, but if you have anything else that you want to add.
No, that was perfect. Hit everything on the dot. Again, like your geography, your cost per conversion is naturally going to be higher if you're targeting cities. So it's just another thing to think about, which is why I think you did a great job explaining the connection between, how much it cost per conversion can be subjective, especially for these types of campaigns. And then, we have a couple questions in the Q&A. I see a couple questions in chat. If you guys want to throw in any questions, we got a little bit of time. We'll do our best to get through all of them. And yeah.
See here.
So yeah, Elijah, if you want to add a question about other features, feel free to go ahead. And then Moses, I think a little bit of explanation. I'm trying to, if you could just explain a little bit more about what you're dealing with, we could definitely get that figured out for you, brother.
And as we get some questions coming in, I'll just say as well, to add to the cost with increased link clicks. When I'm talking about the cost for increased link clicks, that's just for increased link clicks, and then you guys are choosing tour link clicked as your conversion. So you could use increased link clicks, not just for tour link click, but let's say you have merch as well. You can send them to your merch campaign, and now your conversion is purchases. So I don't want to go too deep into what else increased link clicks can do. We have another webinar as well that we've done, but the cost per click with an increased link clicks campaign can vary so much depending on where you're sending people.
Oh, we got a question, Drew. I think this is a good one for you.
Why is using SymphonyIO for fan targeting / retargeting than going direct through meta ads, which seems to allow you to be more specific? Great question. This is a few different answers to that. Couple things. One, the most straightforward one is that Symphony was made, all of the targeting was made by people like myself who had years of experience, thousands of campaigns in meta ads. So, and I'm sure you've like asking that question, you're more familiar with meta ads, and there's a lot of stuff in meta where they'll suggest it to you, you'll try it and it does worse than what you were already doing. Or there's a bunch of data in meta that you don't care about it, but they're surfacing it to you. Like no one cares about the quality score or the assurance ranking. There's a bunch of stuff that they'll surface to you. So not only is Symphony it's automatically doing the best practices that we've seen work with artists of all sizes over the years, but all of the targeting, like the fan targeting and retargeting, we already do all the data driven audiences for you. So any fan engagement, any people going to your website, interacting with an ad, purchasing something, clicking on a tour link click, all of those events, Symphony is automatically making audiences in your Facebook account for you. And so all of the important data audiences, these are the ones that back prior to Symphony, I was having to go in and spend a couple hours actually just having to wait on Facebook to load audience by audience so that I could make hundreds of audiences. Because on the back end, we don't do the best way of making this clear, but Symphony is actually making between 300 to 500 different audiences for you for each campaign. So again, if not only is the big time save of not having to deal with Facebook ads, but all of the important stuff in terms of what you would want to test and the data that you're able to use for your targeting is all included with Symphony. I'm going to ask if you had an affiliate program. Yes, we do. I'm great. I didn't read the second part. You already signed up for it. That's great, and that's something that we were pushing really hard. We've seen our referral program do really well recently, and that's all thanks to you guys. So the more people you guys are able to surface that, you're getting 50% of their subscription payment every single month. When you say your website, is that only a site built on Symphony or the artist's official site as well? So when I say website in regarding to increased link clicks, that is a Symphony website. So if you put your Symphony event page in there, then all of the conversion events like the tour link click are already going to be populated in there because Symphony sets that up for you in the back end. But if you were to put in the artist's official website, that's not a Symphony made website, then you're not going to see any conversion events for you to optimize for unless you've done the manual process of setting the pixel up on the artist website and then setting all of the events up on that website once the pixel's there. Once you have that done, then you can use the artist official website and then select an event that you created. But in the grand scheme of things, that process of creating the events is something that the majority of people aren't going to go through. And it's an annoying process.
Yeah, why take all that time doing what you could do when you could just take 5 minutes, make a Symphony site, and have it all connected already?
Yes. Is there a possibility to know which type of music could be eligible for playlist promotion? It's so the only parameters that are 100% we can't do is we're only playlisting English songs. So if you have anything other than English as your music, we can't playlist that now, and that's just because of the nature of the playlists in our collection. But aside from that, everything else is subjected to all of the factors depending on like that pitch at that time. We just had a playlisting webinar last month that we have uploaded to YouTube that has a lot more information about playlisting as well.
Yeah, instrumental covers are in the same kind of it's hit or miss. So, I've seen like one or two instrumentals get covered. It really depends. On our last webinar, again, like Drew said, definitely go check that out if you have any questions on like how we do our playlisting. But obviously we in the future as we grow, we are going to try and always want to expand our playlist network. So just because we're not accepting songs now, doesn't mean we're not going to be accepting songs in the future. And if you ever have any questions about it, yes, you definitely get a refund. We always do refunds if you get denied from a playlist. Same thing with if you do a video view ad as well. We always do full refunds if they're not accepted. But yeah, just keep an eye out. We'll put out any announcements if we add any new playlists to our network.
Can you please be specific about how Symphony creates the audiences and what those best practices are that you were referring to? Symphony is automatically creating the audiences through Facebook's API using custom data that's specific to your page. So anything, any Facebook engagers, Instagram engagers, any website clicks, like any, think of it as top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. You have the marketing funnel. In each step of the funnel, you have different audiences that you can make. The middle and the bottom of a funnel are all data-driven audiences. Those data-driven audiences you have to specifically make as custom audiences in Facebook or look-alike audiences in Facebook. All of that is done. That Symphony does that automatically through the API for you. So you don't have to sit in Facebook from the audience level and go in one by one, create one custom audience. Okay, great. Now use that custom audience to create one lookalike audience. Okay, great. Now that one lookalike audience was made and you can only restrict it to one country as a lookalike audience. But now what if I want to target 10 different countries in my campaign? Now I need to make that same lookalike audience for the other 9 countries as well. So that just adds to my time sitting in Facebook, waiting for Facebook to load. I have to create custom audience, lookalike audience, custom audience, lookalike audience. So that you don't have to worry about. Symphony does all in the back end. And in terms of the best practices, that's like like the location targeting. There's specific locations that are grouped together and they have a certain percentage of ad spend that go to them because these locations have certain metrics that sometimes they have lower cost per click, but a higher cost per conversion, or a higher cost per click, lower cost per conversion. There's all of these things that have gone into it, and you have all these different audiences. You have percentage of you might have $100 campaign budget, but that $100 isn't being spread evenly between all the different audiences or all the different locations. It's formulas to, let's spend this much money here and then this much money here because we expect these types of results from here versus other types of results from here. So there's a lot that goes into it, but again, Symphony does all that for you.
All right, guys, be on the lookout for the next drop. You guys will be really excited for what it is. Anybody want to take a guess in the chat what it might be?
Yeah, we got big thing dropping soon. What you guys think it is?
I'll give you guys a hint. It's a feature we don't already have right now.
True.
Whoa.
It's a pretty big hint.